In Tech Matters, the Cloud Infrastructure Transition Act. There's growing pressure inside and outside of government to modernize Uncle Sam's IT infrastructure. The road to get there could be paved in the cloud. For more, I'm joined by Richard Beutel, founder of Cyrrus Analytics, and Mike Hettinger, president of Hettinger Strategy Group. Mike, before we get into the meat of this effort, let's talk logistics. You're working with a pair of senators, Republican Jerry Moran of Kansas and Democrat Tom Udall of New Mexico. When will this bill be introduced? Well,
we're still looking at that. We've been working with the two senators as well as talking to some folks on the House side for a number of months. We expect that we will see introduction here in the near future, but we haven't gotten to an exact date. We know it will be soon, and we continue to work with the senators to refine the language and answer some questions that have been raised as we've gone through this process. So we're hoping it'll be probably in the next month or so.
Rich, originally you called the Cloud IT Act son of FITARA. Give us a brief history here. What's the Cloud IT Act designed to do?
Well, the Cloud IT Act picks up on some of the key initiatives that fell by the wayside when we did FITARA. FITARA was a difficult bill in many respects and had a lot of good ideas, one of which was to create a bridge of resources or some form of ability by agencies to get off their fossil computers and to move to new, more transformative platforms with specific reference to dealing with cybersecurity. And the agencies have a terrific problem in this regard because 80 cents of every dollar they have in their budget is just to maintain the old stuff, and we need to move them to the new platforms and the like. And so the bill addresses that issue squarely.
Did you call them fossil computers?
Yes, I did, okay. And they are.
I like that. You should patent that or have fossilcomputer.com for what it's worth. This is a pretty hot topic in the federal IT marketplace right now. Earlier this month, the GAO published a report on data center consolidation. They found agencies saved nearly $3 billion since 2011, but they also have a long way to go. Will the Cloud IT Act help, Mike?
I think it will. You know, part of what we're looking at as we talk about the Cloud IT Act is how do we move off of that legacy technology. And so, you know, not specific to data centers in terms of the language that's actually in the bill, but just the idea of moving away from legacy technology, having a bridge, as Rich talked about, to fund the overall transition, I think will help dramatically as we try to get away from that fossil IT and move to more innovative technologies, reduce space, reduce the cost of data centers, and save money with power and a host of other things.
And meanwhile, Meritalk reports FedRAMP, the Federal Risk Authorization and Management Program, is taking heat for a logjam and concerns about transparency. Meritalk says some people are even privately calling for the removal of FedRAMP Director Matt Goodrich. I'd like your perspective here, Rich. Is FedRAMP broken? Does Goodrich deserve all this criticism? And will the Cloud IT Act help?
Well, FedRAMP was set up with a qualify once, use many times philosophy. And when it came up to us on the Hill several years ago, we thought this was a great idea. And they were not looking at the sheer number of cloud service providers and the like going through this program, which have now surfaced and which need to get through it. Clearly, they need more capacity. Now, whether that's Matt Goodrich's fault or a structural issue and the like is a little unclear. But the Cloud IT Act has an entire title dedicated to streamlining and reforming the FedRAMP process.
Before we go, let's talk about the path to success in Congress. FCW reports the idea could be a tough sell because congressional appropriators don't particularly like flexible funding mechanisms that operate outside their control. Mike, you have a reputation for being a master of the tough sell. So how do you sell this?
It is a tough sell, and Rich and I have talked a lot about this over the last few months, and you know, we are working behind the scenes with a number of members, as I mentioned, to try to figure out exactly what it's going to look like. There's obviously a companion proposal that the administration has put forward, $3.1 billion, in addition to what is in the Cloud IT Act. So we're working hard behind the scenes, talking to Republicans, Democrats, and everyone across the board. We recognize the challenge, and I think one of the keys to success is to recognize that as we move forward with this legislation, there will be challenges, there will be questions. We've already seen them raised. Chairman Chaffetz and Chairman Crenshaw of the FSGG Appropriation Subcommittee have raised questions already, and we're working to try to answer those questions as we go through. Obviously, it's a short year with political conventions starting as early as mid-July, so we've ramped it up to the extent we can, and we're really trying to move forward and find a way to get this done this year.
I wish you all the best. Mike Hettinger, president of Hettinger Strategy Group, and Richard Beutel of Cyrrus Analytics. Thanks to you both.
Thanks, Morris.